Before we go on with the next vowels, I want to talk to you a little bit about the film industry. You see, in the film industry there's a problem, because it's populated with lots of very good-looking people whose faces and bodies are insured for millions of dollars, and yet these same good-looking people have to do some amazingly dangerous things, like jumping out of planes and getting blown up and that sort of thing. So what's the solution? Yeah, stunt doubles. There are people that come in and stand in for those actors where the actors cannot be. And so it is with the letter Y. It stands in for the letters E and I when they cannot be there, and I'll show you how. On the next line, write the letter Y, and underneath it we're going to do 3 words that have the letter Y in them. The first is the word lazy. How come I can't spell lazy like this? Hopefully your students will say something like, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right's a great phrase, and something that I want my students always to say. Spelling is ultimately visual. An even truer answer would be that the letter E at the end of a word doesn't make a sound, and you can teach it by saying this. E at the end of a word says this. Want to hear it again? E at the end of a word is silent. So when you have an E sound at the end of a word, you can't use E. You have to bring in the stunt double. What letter? Y. Not EY. Not EE. Not IE or any other 2-letter combination. But Y. You see, we need to get familiar early with this Keep It Simple Students principle. What Keep It Simple Students means is that if you can get away with writing 1 letter, write 1 letter. As readers and spellers, we are economical. We like to use as little energy as possible to achieve our communicative purpose. So it's not EY when you hear an E at the end of a word, and it's a common coping strategy to write EY. It's Y. In the first most common 1,000 words, EY words feature twice, money and valley. It's much easier to learn the EY exceptions than it is to learn all the words that end with Y. So the general principle is the E sound at the end of a word is spelled with a Y. Then we have the letter Y standing in for the letter I. In words that we've borrowed from Greek, like the word gym, the I sound is often written with a Y. So if we can spot that it's a Greek root, we know to use a Y instead of an I. And so it is with chrysanthemum and all sorts of words that seemed hard to spell, but actually aren't. Then there's this word, fly. Why can't I write it like this? According to everything I've been taught so far, the I at the end of the syllable would say its name, I, as it fell off a cliff. So why can't I write fly like this? Again, it doesn't look right, is what we like to elicit here. The truth of the matter is, though, that the letter I is illegal. An illegal letter is a letter that can't go at the end of an English word. There are 5 of them in the alphabet, and I is the first one. So, instead of writing the illegal letter I at the end of the word, we use the stunt double. What stunt double? Y. That's why we write fly like that. And that brings us on to a rule. You may not use I at the end of a word. You must use Y.